Good afternoon. And it's okay. How's the course going? Any comments, any suggestions, any issues? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So does it mean there are no issues? Or yet to start saying all good? I think people who join here don't have any issues.
Good afternoon,
Yes,
sir.
sir. All
Uh,
good.
That's great. Yeah, good
Good afternoon,
afternoon,
sir.
bro. Yeah.
Myself, Ravi, sir. Sir, just wanted to raise one concern. My
Mm-hmm.
assignment one for conversational AI is yet not been evaluated, even though I sent couple of reminder as well to TA over the mail.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Same
is
here, sir.
delayed only for me or other people are also left.
I
It's
think few
pending for
others
me
are
as well.
also, yeah, it's for many people, I guess. Uh, I started one, this one, right? If I remember, I gave an, what do you call it?
Excel
Excel sheet,
sheet.
Google
sir.
Sheet. Correct,
I
correct.
updated there as well, sir.
Okay, okay. Now I have shared that, but I don't know. I have to check individually. अरे कितना काम करेंगे यार
Sir, can
okay,
you please
let me.
reshare that Excel sheet? I missed it to add my name over there.
Are somebody shared na to him? It should be available on this chat.
Okay. Yeah, I found it, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, this one, right? Right. Let me send it to the persons. Yeah. Hmm. Can't be everywhere. Hmm. Okay. No problem. Hmm. Ideally, it should have been done by 24th, right? It's not urgent for us, but then when assignment 2 will come, then again it will go too much. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. 10 minutes are evaluated. Um, okay. It's okay. So anything else? Assignment, I have told they will do that work. So anything else? No, right?
No,
And
sir.
when is the assignment to last date?
Sir, it's 8 February.
Oh, you have a lot of time, huh? Very good. So anybody has any queries on assignment two? I think queries, we cannot change anything because I have already mentioned, I guess, not me. I have told them to mention that within 1 week you should come up with any clarifications or any doubts, right? So rest all clarifications are fine, but nothing can be changed after this because few people would have started working on it, right? So if we change some instructions, rules, those who started early will have an issue. So we cannot change anything, but if you have any clarifications, you can still ask anytime. So I hope everything is clear, right? It's very simple. Nowadays AI is there, nothing to worry about coding. Only thing is use as many techniques as possible, like last class, what I also mentioned to apply techniques. Don't do this as an assignment. If you do this as an assignment, uh, you will only lose the what do you call the opportunity to learn, right? So don't do that mistake. So one very famous thing what we ourselves convince is that okay, we are busy in office. Okay, so don't do that. Uh, then we lose, right? So it's as simple as that. Nothing more. If you don't want to lose, then you have to do. Okay. Any one question? Yep.
Sir, I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
I, I was executing the assignment and seeing that generation of 100 question and then later on answer. In answer,
Mm-hmm.
especially taking a lot of time, like 30, 40
Mm-hmm.
minutes, based on the like large model, extra large or
Mm-hmm.
mini. So if we use small mini kind of model, that token context length is very small. Uh, and even in large, I can only go to top three. I mean, top k equals to 3 because of
Mm-hmm.
context length. Extra large is very, very slow. So based on that, I mean, will it matter? Like at the end of the day, the evaluation metrics may not be like very good based on, yeah. I mean, we can use extra large, but it is way too much. I mean, that much we don't have. I mean, at least in my case. So the
Mm-hmm.
question is that whether the performance metrics matter during the evaluation of this assignment. Yeah.
See, for assignment marks, it doesn't matter, but technically it matters, right? Assignment, if it is, see, correct answer should come. We cannot, so we can hard code some answers for any question, right? For any question, I can prepare some 100 questions and then hard code 100 answers and then give it. So I'm not saying like that. What my intention is, where is your problem? Can't your problem be solved? Why are you thinking that, okay, why are you even worrying about the evaluation? Worry, I am telling, worry about the problem. Don't worry about who is evaluating. That's how you get high score, right? So because if you worry that, okay, I am saying that, okay, it is not going to be evaluated, and that's तो मेरे से हवा में चला जाएगा. ठीक है. Later I will tell as per documentation instruction it is to be evaluated. Who will help you? Nobody will help you. You cannot claim this statement also from me. So you should not worry about that, right? You should worry about why you are facing that issue and how it is possible to get it done. And do you think that that is impossible to do it? My question to you, do you
No,
think
it
that
is not
problem what you
impossible.
said, there will be an easy way. I'm not saying that some bada sa say another thing. Impossible is another thing. Okay, impossible means anybody in the world with so much of thousands of resources they can do. My next question is, do you think for assignment with free resources, is it still impossible to do it?
No, sir, it's not impossible. I was just saying that, I mean,
No, that is my
yeah.
question. So I am not, I appreciate you have started doing the assignment. So that's the first appreciation what I wanted to give you. Okay, that's the real truth. Even if you have February 18th, you will be hardly in the first 10% of the people I know who have started the assignment as of now. I'm not degrading the other students, but that's the ground truth. Okay. So if you have started and you're doing, you are already ahead. Okay. Say that's the appreciation. But second point is, see, second point, what I'm saying is not to hurt you or anything. It's just that to push you from my side. Okay. So keep that as a learning curve. Uh, so point here is there is an opportunity to get rid of what you said. there is a solution. Okay. So just ask Google or the chatbots, GPT or Gemini, whatever. Exactly, you tell what is your problem and ask the solution to it. Okay. Ask 2, 3 chatbots. You will get the answer already. If at all they don't have it, then you can ask me again. Okay. Or you can ping me separately. I'll answer you. Okay. But you have to
Yeah,
tell me
sure,
the
sir.
exact situation. Okay. So exact
Okay.
situation, what exactly it is having issue, you tell me. Okay. So it is solvable. I can give you the answer now, but I don't want to give because that kills the. See, one thing what I always tell, learned in the last 15 to 20 years is nobody knows all the answers. Correct. So the point is you should know where to search what and how to search. There are two things in search: where to search and how to search. Where to search, we always think that okay, everybody who has learned is great, right? So that is okay, that is not always possible. You cannot go to every person every time. And how to search also you should know. If you even you have the access to the greatest intelligent person who knows everything in AI or Gen AI or whatever LLM everything, if you don't ask the right question, you will not get the correct answer. So where to search and how to search. How to means how to ask the question. So it may be GPT or it may be a person. Whomever you ask the right question, give the right data, and you will get the right answer. So what I'm trying to say as a gyan here is that if you know these two things, no question is unanswerable. Okay. If it is possible by anybody in this world, it will be possible by you also. So have this confidence and search yourself. And these two arts, it you have to develop it. And one more thing, what I wanted to say is, 10 years before, how I used to search and how where I used to search is different from what I do today. So with time, you have to evolve. You have to learn to change your way of searching, change your place of search. So it's very important because nobody knows the answer. Okay. So everybody learns. And how to learn, where to learn, and more where to learn में वो भी आता है that cost, right? So everywhere they'll say, okay, you give 20 lakhs, 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs, we'll give you knowledge. Okay. So there are some many places to learn it freely. Okay. Many ways to learn it freely from the same people who charged you 20 lakhs. Okay. So you have to identify that in a professional way and not compel anybody. I'm not talking anywhere here in a forceful way of extracting information from somebody. Just that in the right way. If you go ask, you will get it. So that's where I said the direction is also important. How to ask somebody, where to ask, when to ask. I didn't add, but that comes in the direction itself. How to ask me. Okay. So you will get it and search for it because that is the most important talent. Because last but not least, today I can give you an answer for this. But if you learn how to do and where to search, any new concept in the future, it will evolve. Like after 1 year, there will be 1,000 concepts which has come into the market. So that one nobody can give you, right? So you have to search that time. So the the only thing which doesn't change, there is a very famous dialogue by Rajinikanth. The only thing which doesn't change is the change. Okay, so everything keeps changing. So you have to adapt to it. So only way to adapt to the change is you should have the art of ask like knowing how to search for a particular question at that time. So if you know the art, no question, it doesn't matter it you are asking how to cook rasam or how to cook a dal, or you are asking something about very hardcore technique about, there is one new concept RLM, right? It's by Stanford, I guess. So how, what is that, right? How to learn that, or any new architecture, how can you learn that? So if you know the art of searching and where to search or how to search, then you can get the answer anywhere. So It's a very big gyan, but this is the most important thing you should learn in this course, according to me. If you didn't learn this, just that's what I always wonder. Like somebody like spoon fed होता है ना, spoon fed बच्चा अच्छा नहीं होता है, correct? So you should always make people to think. That there is a very famous story, right? Uh, you should teach the horse to go to a pond, search for a pond, go to the pond and drink water and come. You should not always go and bring water to from the pond and give it to the horse. Then it will become a slave to you all of its life. And that's a very harsh way of telling. But the more professional, more like intelligent, like soft way of saying is, today I can teach you. Tomorrow I do not know I am alive or not. Like I will be there or not. Alive or not is very bad. So I will be there or not, right? So somebody whom you love, you should make them learn how to know things. You cannot be always here, right? Someday we have to be away. That person has to go somewhere. So the art is they should start learning. They should learn same thing like for our course also. Today you are in my class, next sem you may not see me at all. So if you learn how to search and where to search, if you learn that from us, that is the best art I can teach you. No, nothing else. All these technical terms you can learn anytime. Right? Okay. Too much out of the topic discussion, but still, at least it should be useful for few people. Okay. So who already are learning, and even I learned that art. I also have not yeah, mastered it. So it's a very difficult art. It's nobody can claim that okay, I know everything. I know any topic you give me, I will surely be able to find the right item, a right answer for it. So it's a, but it is to be learned. That's what I said. 10 years before, how I did things, today I do it in a different way. And next, after 10 years, I don't know how I will do, but I will have to change. If I don't change, I will be outdated. It's as simple as that. Outdatation comes there only. It's not that uh, uh, you stop learning. So by default, if you're searching for an answer, you are learning, right? So that's how I learned most of the things. Keep searching for answers to questions, you will surely get the uh, more information than if you go and directly get an answer easily. So that's also one thing, in assignments also, many times in my time when in MTech, I used to have a lot of doubts. But what happens is there is suppose one very, not only assignment, any place, even in question paper, if there is a question, I'm a very introvert. So what happens is I'm very scared of asking openly. I'll just not get up and then ask, "Arey, what do you exactly want here?" ऐसे पूछना मेरे को डर लगता है. Like we are like introverts, right? So I'm like that. So what happens is I'll do okay. What if there are three options to be written? So asking is a good thing. I'll not say extroverts are bad. If you are very daring to ask, you can write only 2 lines and then get the full marks. But what I will do, I'll write all the answers which is possible because of that, instead of asking which is the exact correct answer. So in that case, people will cut maximum half mark, like 5 mark question. Oh, he has written or both the options. Considering this situation, yeah answer, and considering other situation, yeah answer. So okay, he's mostly they will give full marks or they will give maybe 4.5 marks. So I am bach gaya. So इसमें क्या है? I have learnt both the techniques, right? So because I'm an introvert, I have to learn more so that I don't need to ask somebody, "Arey, clarify this," so that I will write what exactly what I know only, right? So everything has an advantage and disadvantage. I don't appreciate that being an introvert is a great thing. Okay. Okay. So it's a funny part. Okay. Maybe it's funny only for me. Nobody laugh. Okay. So all good. Any other issues coming back to the technical things? Oops. Anybody? Any other question? Why this somebody is in hold? Hold does hold means what? what does that hold mean? Hold means
Maybe that person is in
Yeah.
another call. Another call.
another. Oh, okay, in the same session. Okay. Okay. How can two calls? Okay. Maybe it's a different stuff. Okay. Chalo. Is this message here? Network issue. Okay. Okay, we'll come back to the today's class. Last class we were seeing about the bias, right? So bias and security, output alignment, prompt injection, right? And what else we saw? Guardrails. These words. I hope all these words are clear, right? So remember all these words: bias, fairness, okay, guardrails, then prompt injection, input output guardrails, right? And what else? Output alignment, huh? Then hallucination. All these words are covered in last class. This class we'll see metrics. Okay. So evaluation metrics. So till now what we have seen is where is this? So till now what we have seen is first we started with okay, let me start with that. Mm, Retrieval. Correct. Second one is generation. So if you don't remember or if you disagree with me, let me know. Okay. Because I don't want to write which is exactly same. Generation. Then what else? Hmm. 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 SFT, right? Then RL, reinforcement learning. Then comes fine tuning. We have not seen in detail about pre-training. Okay, so I have not written. So, eh, but you should know this: what is pre-training, what is the data used, all those things. Okay, so that we have seen in the discussions, but we don't go deep into pre-training because it's too much theoretical. Not theoretical. It's not done by for this one many people, and infrastructure requirement is so high, so we will not be able to do that. Okay, so that is the point. Fine tuning then came about after fine tuning was the midsem, then came this one. What is that? A rag, right? Rag. Then came. So in generation, I should not write generation here. I should write retrieval, encoder, decoder. I can say embedding. So it will be part of here only. I'll write here embeddings. Then next one is retrieval. Then RAG, and then lastly we saw about the what is that? Last class, what I was talking about, guardrails or something. Did I miss anything here? All covered, right? So now let's see these 7 items. What kind of metrics we can measure in each of these? Okay, so I'll ask you guys in the first one. The first one, what is this you can use to check whether the embeddings are correct or not? How can you check? Is there a way to check? Should there it should be there should be a way to check, right? How are we creating embeddings? Do you guys remember? Can somebody explain how are we creating embeddings? So I have a text. Okay. So I have a text. Maybe it is around 500 characters. So we have a something to create the embedding. So what is this, first of all?
Encoder.
Okay. Encoder. Correct. So now tell me, how can we measure this embedding? Whether the embedding, I told you the embedding is correct or I told that embedding will be created by encoder. Okay. So now tell me how can you ensure that this embedding covers this? Is there any way to check? So I am giving you an encoder. Okay. So I gave you I say that this is Bhagath's encoder. Okay. So how can you evaluate? Do you understand the question? How can you evaluate an encoder model which generates an embedding, whether the embedding is correct as per the given text or not? There should be a very easy way, right?
User query with embedding similarity score maybe.
Maybe we will actually decode to see if it generates the original data, original character.
Yeah, that it will do, right? So what is like okay, let me rephrase the question. Maybe my question is not correct. So see, what you said is the text it becomes an embedding. Okay, that is fine. So when you decode, you will get this text. That is the for sure. My question is, see, the embedding has to depict the text, meaning of the text. Correct. That's the requirement. Agree?
Yeah, yes.
So now how will I test whether my encoder model okay, you have to come ulta. I'll give you one hint. So I was asking whether the embedding is correct or not. So for that, what you should do, whether the encoder model is working correct or not, you have to see correct or not.
Yeah.
If the encoder model works fine, then you are already done. Correct. So now coming to how to evaluate encoder. Correct. How do you evaluate this encoder? Now it should be easy.
So like we take
accuracy by saying accuracy matrices.
Accuracy metrics, recall precisions and all.
Accuracy of what? How do you do that? I'm asking, how do you do that? Yeah, I understand there is the matrix, how to do that. But my question is, how do you do that? What is the input? What you will do, and then how the number score comes?
Cosine similarity we will try and
Cosine
see
Similar to
how.
cosine similarity.
Cosine similarity of
or
what?
Euclidean.
So I have a model. Okay, I just gave you a model. Tell me how I say that this is an encoder. What you will do with that? I just give you only the model.
Test data
like,
we can.
so we can actually take two similar words and then see the encoded embedding the embeddings cosine similarity is same. I mean zero. Or we can take two opposite words and then take the encoding and then check the cosine similarity. Uh, Is
Okay.
it,
Yeah.
is it like
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Correct. So it's not words, you will take sentences. Okay. So words is fine. You can start with phrases also, but better to take sentences. Okay. So it is a pair of sentences. So if I understood you correctly, you will take up similar pairs, correct? And you
yes.
said opposite pairs, right? So dissimilar pairs. That's correct English word. Dissimilar pairs, similar pairs. So you will take two sets of pairs. Maybe here you take 1,000, here you take 1,000, correct? So now you have to calculate the not 1,000. You can take 1,000 sets, correct? Here you can take 1,000 sets. Here you get 1,000 pairs, like 1,000 pairs, 1,000 pairs. So it is around 2,000 and 4,000 sentences, correct? So and then you run that here and then check whether similar pairs should be having one, near about one score, and dissimilar pair should have a score of near about zero
0.
when you
Yeah,
do a
0.
cosine similarity. Correct? Is this what you said?
Yeah, right, sir. Yes, sir. This is what I
Hmm.
intended to say. Sir.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. This is the way you can do it. So anybody disagrees with this? You understood? Anybody didn't understand this point? It's too much glaring, right? It should go to a page where it's white color. Okay, whatever it is. Oh, don't have white page. I should have added white color. Okay, just think about it. I will come to here. I'll just add some few white pages and come. I think I should be having it. Okay. Anybody didn't understand this? Anybody didn't understand this? And you do you agree this? Agree? Anybody disagrees this? All good. So first thing is you have an encoder. Oops. You have an encoder. How do you evaluate? So why I'm talking about this, you should understand. In your business case, in your RAG system, you have at least if you go to Hugging Face, you will have more than 1,000 encoder models. Which is the correct encoder model? How do you evaluate? Right? So first thing, first way to evaluate technically is there is a website MTEB. So not a website, it's a table, correct? It's a table. Everybody knows this. Search MTEB in Hugging Face. You'll get a table. Would somebody get it? Am I audible? Time silence. कुछ तो बोलो.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it's a table.
You got it? You got the table?
Yes, sir.
Somebody? Oh, okay. Okay, good. So first thing is, first of all, why you want an encoder is because for your RAG, you need to develop an embedding vector, right? You want to have an encoder model to get the vector. So first thing is the first repository, like a table where you can get an idea about which is the best encoder model available in the market. I'm not saying this is this is the only place. There are many other tables. I think open. I forgot the other one. Okay, no problem. You can keep searching and you will get some tables where you can compare. This. Correct. So this is the table, right? So you can go and check this table. But here, what is the point here is, it is not like for every domain. So if your domain is very common, like HR domain or some general chatbots, okay. So for those, this is fine. This will be fine. But if it is a technical domain, right? So technical domain means like in my case, you could say oil and gas, right? Oil and gas or construction, hmm? Or technical things. Technical words are more. Okay. So in those cases, you have to do one more evaluation at your end. Okay. So that's how I do. If there is already any table, I'm not sure. Maybe if somebody has done research on this and then put another table, you can go and use that. But you have to do a your side manual evaluation to identify which is the best. So like in our case, in our assignment, wiki, right? You are using wiki. So wiki is a general document, right? So it belongs to this category. So this should be fair enough. If you do manual evaluation also, it might be almost same. Okay. So in this case, you have to do a manual. Manual means I'm not saying manual. It's an custom evaluation. So at your end, okay. So you have to do a say evaluation. In this process, what you should get is take some 1,000 pairs of. So minimum 1,000 तो होना चाहिए ना. At least 100 तो ले लो. Okay. 1,000 pairs of similar sentences, technical sentences, not English sentences. Okay. So technical sentence. So since we are evaluating the technical for a technical use case, so get this. Okay. And then get some 1,000 pairs of again dissimilar. Okay. Dissimilar sentences, and then do this use the encoder. Okay. We'll say take one encoder which you think is good. Okay. And then get the vectors. So you will get how many vectors? 1,000 pairs and 1,000 pairs, right? So you'll have consider every sentence is different. So you'll have around 4,000 vectors, correct? And then you know the pairs, right? So for each of the pairs, what you said, you calculate the cosine similarity and then average it. So average it for similar, you average it, you will get an average score, and dissimilar, you will again average it. Okay, so and then you can have an idea about how it is good. So you can have, if you want to have a 1 score, you can add like 1 minus this average. So suppose this is A2 and this is A1. So A1 should be very high, right? Obviously, because similar ones should give very near about 1. Dissimilar ones should give near about 0. So if you add like this, then you will get A1 will be between, it will be 1, the best model. 1 minus A2 also will be 1. So you take an average of this, you can get 1 score. So this score for whichever model, this is the final score what I'm talking about. So for you are doing this for encoder 1, you do the same thing for encoder 2, taking the same input, take another model. So this is one model you picked up, this is another model. You do everything, you will get the score again. So among these two scores, whichever score is higher, that model should be good. You agree? Anyone needs clarification? And you have to do this for technical domain. Okay, so that's what people don't do it because that's what you are here, right? So because if I remember, I have interviewed almost mm, 30 people in the last 2 months. Everybody claims they are a engineer, okay, but nobody knows the working. Nobody has worked like this. Simply they have read some blob, and they have applied some POC and they call themselves as a engineer. Correct. So when you really go for production, your encoder should be a very important stuff. You cannot choose any random encoder from some table and then use it on a technical domain. Okay, if your domain is HR or general, yes, I agree. But because I am in a technical industry, people who come here also say that, okay, nobody said this, first of all. I will tell none of the 30 people said that I will go to a table like this and see the how it is rated, and that's how I select a encoder. They didn't say. Okay. What they said is, okay, sir, this model we took, best model, what everybody says, all mini LM BS6, I guess. Okay, so we took this and this was sufficing our work, so we continued with that. मतलब ये तो 12th standard बच्चा कर लेगा, नहीं करेगा? Somebody confirm if a 12th standard guy cannot do this, right? So because if you read, go to Medium, go to Substack and read some 10 articles, you will get this answer. Even there, you will get this answer also. Maybe they have not read it in depth because this will require like work, right? So you have to do work to get this to 2000 pairs of sentence. And why you will do that work? If you want to go for a high production grade results, right? So production grade system, if you want to build, then only you will have to do all these things to ensure that you selected the best model, and there is no doubt in that. So once you do all these things and then confirm that, okay, this model is best, no other model can beat mine. Okay. So maybe here I'm saying only two models. I think we have tested 6 models. Okay. Where we had doubt. And yes, of course, all models, it cannot fit your hardware. Okay. So that's why you select 6 models, 6 encoder models. Okay. So this, first of all, this selection will be based on your hardware. I agree. First one step, it will be like based on your hardware. And among these 6, okay, all 6 will fit my hardware. Okay. But among these 6, which one is best technically? So you have to do this. And this is not a big task. Okay. It will hardly take a day to run this. Only getting these pairs is a big thing, but not that is also not big thing. You have 2 days, you will get it if you know to how to get this. And this one, nobody in your company will give you. Okay, that this is where the data science knowledge comes. This is exactly where your data science knowledge comes. It's not actually, this makes huge difference between the ML or data science and GenAI. In ML, what you have, your client will give you the data set, correct? All those things. But in ML, you will have the table, like there are 1 million rows of data, right? 1 million or 10 million rows of data. So you start your model, you will start training and all doing all those things. Okay. But in Gen AI, the point is you don't get tabular data. You will get, suppose I have a 1 million documents. This is your client's input. Only this much is their input. So now you have to do all the work. And for all the work means, so here in a LL, in a RAG or GenA, you don't train any model, right? You use the models which are already there. So here you have to get the right model. So you have to use encoder, you have to use vector DB, right? Vector DB. Then you have to select which is the LLM, right? If you have some smaller intent understanding or intent clarification or intent identification or extraction of, you have to use some SLMs, correct? Or some intent extraction, all those things. So there are so many items we have to select. Okay, so here it is selection, not like ML work, ML projects. ML projects and GenAI projects are completely different. Okay, so who has done ML project cannot do GenAI until otherwise he has done all this work. So point here, what I wanted to say is that for GenAI project, the approach is different. So here you are doing only selection, which is the good, best DB. There are a lot of DBs out there. Which is the best LLM to be used for a particular use case? Which is the best LLM for SLM to be used for a particular use case, particular scenario? Use case means not the complete project. Okay, scenario. Maybe for example, answer generation. So you give a input. So it's not like cloud 4.5 is best. No, if somebody says that, if somebody asks, okay, which is the best LLM, and if you say that cloud 4.5 or GPT 5.2, you already are rejected to be a Gen AI scientist. Okay. So first of all, you should know what is the correct use case. There is no such point that, okay, this LLM is best everywhere in the world. Okay. So no. So first is use case. You should understand what is the use case. Second is what exactly is the thing you have to give it. So use case is the complete project work. This is the project. Inside project, there can be 10 LLMs you can use. So like, for example, one of my project, I have 15 LLM steps. Okay. So I can use any number of LLMs inside that, maximum 15, any number of like 5 to 15. I can have different LLMs for each step. Okay. So here is, so for LLM 1, I am using LLM 2, I will use, there is a SLM I have. Okay. So there is an encoder model 1, encoder model 2. There is a cross encoder, correct? Cross encoder 1. So there are so many models in one project I'm talking about. Okay. So now point is, how will you select this LLM? How will I select this LLM? It's not same. It depends on what exactly is its use case. It's like you are making a biryani, right? So when you are making a biryani, for making rice, you don't use a chai ka kadai, right? So it's like that. So maybe the final stuff is biryani. Okay, the project is like biryani stuff, but for each step, like to fry something, so you use something else, right? Some new other utensil. I don't know the names in English. Okay, so new utensil for each step. So it's exactly that. Okay, so it's exactly that. What I'm trying to say is that each LLM, what is it doing? First of all, you should, that is what is the architect work, right? So you have to understand the complete architecture of the project, define each step in your project. Then you should say, okay, I am going to give this. So first, don't decide the LLM. So what people do is, okay, a project means I'll use Cloud 4.5 or GPT 5.2 or Gemini 3. No, first you should know what is your input, what is the quality of the input, and what exactly you want the output. Okay. And then based on the input, how much it is technical, whether general, technical, output, you select what is the LLM. There will be an LLM or there will be an SLM. So there is option. You can choose LLM or SLM for the same requirement. So if the output is very small, you can use an SLM, and input is also very small. And it may be output is like for a word. So you have to just extract the entities of from a query. So you give a query and your model is going to just extract the entities. I hope you understand what is entities, right? So entities extraction. So in that case, you can use SLM. Okay, so like that. But you wanted to give a query and then give a intent creation, intent understanding. Then also you can use SLM. Oh, SLM we'll see next class. But my point is, currently consider that LLM. Okay, so LLM, which is the best LLM to do this kind of work? What is the input? What is the output? And don't ever say that, okay, this is the best LLM. No, technically it is not correct. Okay. So until otherwise, you know what is the use case. So whenever somebody asks which is the best LLM, just ask what is the particular use case? What is your input? What is your output? Based on that, you have to choose your utensils, right? So it's exactly like that. So it's not that all items in a biryani is made in cooker, right? Or there is better way to make. I don't know to make biryani, but just that I wanted to give an example related to that. Okay. Okay. Point is, you should know what is the input and what is the output. Accordingly, the best LLM will be. So, for example, Gemini. Even in Gemini, so suppose your company is using Gemini. Okay. So in Gemini, there are those so different models. Okay. I don't know how many of you use. There are even in, I think you can show it here also. Right. This is first general. Okay. So it is not. Okay. So you see here in this one, right? So here you select here. So the Pro one is good for max and code. This is the first evaluation. You have to do it your own evaluation. That is secondary part. That is a custom evaluation I was talking about, right? In general, you can see. So for fast, so there is a model for fast. There is a model for thinking. So there is, every model has its own versions, right? Similarly, cloud also has, like cloud. If you see, cloud also has like there is a model called Haiku. Okay, that is also 4.5. And Sonnet is there. Sonnet is also 4.5. So this is like thinking model. This is like fast. Okay, fast means quick one, but it is also sufficient. So when to use this, when to use that, right? So you should understand. If you want, we can discuss more. But point is, you can understand, right? So you cannot use thinking model everywhere because this is very good thinking. No, it will spoil your answer. Not only latency, it will spoil your answer also. Okay, because too much thinking, it's like overthinking. बोलते हैं ना, don't overthink. Sometimes nothing happens. So it's like that. Too much thinking for an output which is not required sufficient thinking, you should not use. Okay, and you're wasting time and money of your company, right? So that's why you should choose the right one. This is 10 times cheaper and I think 20 times faster. I guess something like that. Okay, and thinking requires so mathematics. There is a when so a simple word if I have to tell when there are steps involved. So you have to analyze, right? So step by step thinking is required. So you have to break the input. So you asked a query and you have to break the input. Like for example, some questions, if you see, you can just answer, right? Some questions require, okay, you have to take the input, take some other input, analyze it, and then prepare another intermediate outputs, and then you have to analyze those, and then finally get an output. So in that kind of case, you have to use a thinking model. So finally, what I wanted to say is to select each of them, you have to know the correct exact use case, not only the use case project, exact use case of that particular LLM in your project, LLM or SLM or embedding model, right? How so if you know that, after that only you should be able to select. Somebody says, okay, I'll give you Sonnet 4.5. Can you build this use case? No, that's not correct. That is correct to some extent. You will get an answer for sure. It's not like that this is not going to work. But to get a very good work, very good results, you should think from after design, you should select the components. Your aim is to make biryani, right? So after that, you will select the utensils. If I give you a utensil and then tell, okay, इसी में biryani, like bachelor time में we have like 4 utensils and उसी में कुछ भी करना है ना? It's like that. So it depends on companies' expenditures also. I agree with that. So some companies would have subscribed for a particular LLM, then only that you can use. So that is fine. But then you have to go to the market and tell. So you see somebody has subscribed for Sonnet 4.5, then you can tell as a data scientist or AI engineer, you should tell them. By there is a model called Haiku 4.5 that is also from cloud, which is 10 times cheaper than this. So most of our task in our complete project can be done by Haiku 4.5, which is 10 times lesser. Why do you want me to use Sonnet for every step, right? That's the point. Okay. So coming back, so first thing, how do you evaluate an embedding model? Okay, so
Sir, one
so when you
small
evaluate, yeah, sure.
uh, sir, this table MDEB. So there are 300 plus models are there, sir. How you select which one we have to use? Definitely, it will be based on domain. But I've seen there are 3-4 domains only mentioned, sir. And in that case, our custom evaluation, we definitely have something else like a construction domain and other things, sir. So, like in out of 300, sir, which one I have to pick? Like, can you put some light on it?
Out of 300. Oh,
Yeah, sir.
see, in general, I have to see your documents, but in general, what we can see is you can take some. See, first thing what I said here was choose some models which can fit into your project budget. So you can use your project budget, hardware availability, right? So if you are confined to a particular cloud operation, where do you implement your project when you go for production, right? So you have to put it in Azure or AWS or Gemini. So what are all the models available there? So based on those, you filter out some of them. Maybe you filter out 200. Okay. So remaining 100 is there. In that, you consider this MTEB as the first set of ranking, and then take top 6, top 5 of it, and then go for your technical this one. Create this and then evaluate all those 6. If you are satisfied, you are getting a good score, then you can go ahead with that, whichever model is good. You understood?
Okay, sir. Mhm.
Okay,
This
this is the first step. Yeah.
this is just you said that based on use case, right, sir?
Correct. For a particular use case, you select the first 6 for using this ranking. Then you do calculate this, collect this sentences, and then test all those 6 models in this. And then based on the final score of your testing, you can select whichever model you want to go ahead with.
Mhm. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now going back. So embedding is done. So whatever I said is not there in the syllabus till now. Okay. I think 1 hour time pass kar liya, huh? So you want to learn syllabus or you want to learn something which is uh, useful? The syllabus is also designed by me, unfortunately. Not unfortunately. Sorry, I should not say this, but sorry. It's very carefully designed. Okay. But point here is that some things are which is not easy to be covered. So what I was talking about here is completely a production, my own experience. This you may not get very easily, but this is the most important thing. One reason I'll tell is when somebody comes for I take interview. That's why in fact 30 people I rejected, unfortunately. Too much, too much, na bad guy. Not I didn't reject 30 people, I rejected 28 people. 2 people my manager rejected. Sorry for that, but that's very bad because most of them who came was having this kind of experience. They didn't have some right way of thinking towards Gen A because we were looking for somebody who's experienced in the post, right? So if you learn this, so that's why I am saying I am teaching here so that you guys learn. Whenever you go, you tell this. In fact, you should be intelligent enough to see. In fact, the thing what I told now, if you have grasped it very nicely, go to an interview, even though the questions are something related to RAG, but then you tell this, give this explanation completely. When they ask about, okay, tell me about your AA project. Okay, then you explain. So we had a RAG system, and wherein first challenge in our project is this is the encoder, right? We had to select the encoder, right encoder for our project. So what we did was we had this kind of evaluation, but our was technical domain in our project. So we had this kind of, then we did all these things and then draw some diagram and then woo that person, right? So you say, no, you will impress that person. So you see, if somebody would have done this to me, Bob, I would have given more salary than me, that person. Seriously, I am really looking for a good experienced guy like this. Okay, so that is different area. Sorry to ask for a person here in this forum, but ठीक है. Point is, we are looking somebody who has done this and then really evaluate. It's not simply going to internet and then selecting some model, some database, some LLM, SLM, and then doing some open source RAG. Like you simply take, everybody comes with RAG, right? You take the input, you put it into vector DB, and then you extract that, and then when the query comes you extract it from the vector DB and then generate an answer. I'm telling you, the persons who are living near me, they can do this in 2 3 hours, right? So this is a very typical RAG. Okay, even in this typical RAG, see, okay, I will say that this is okay, my project's requirement is itna hi hai. So why do you want me to do something so complicated? Yes, I completely agree with that. But then when I ask, okay, why did you select such a vector DB? Why did you select such an encoder? Why did you select, there is intermediate steps, right? So here, why do you select that? So they don't know. They don't know because they say that, okay, we selected. Many people don't even answer that. They say that We selected this, it worked, it's fine. It worked, matlab, see, okay, then it worked means what does that working mean? Did you evaluate this answer? No. How did they evaluate? They gave it to a client. Client saw some 10 questions, the client put 10 answers they got, and they became happy. And this encoder is the best in the world. And this vector DB is the best in the world. Is this the right way to evaluate a production system? No, 100% no. Client evaluation with 10 questions is not at all an evaluation at all. Somebody says this is the blunder you can how can you put something in production? Do you think ChatGPT released by testing 10 questions, the developers tested 10 questions with some random guys and then they released into the market? No, they would have tested robustly. That is what is required. So any model which goes, any system, it goes into production. So you guys, if you are software guys, you know, right? There's a performance team in the company, right? So to test it. So they test it in a different criteria, metrics like latency, concurrency, all those things. Similar way for GenA also, you should test minimum 1,000 questions. Minimum, okay, if the questions are very rare, that's fine. But if it is like report generation method, okay, so if your complete application is report generation, so okay, at least 100 reports you asked for, it generated 100 reports. This is you can evaluate this and then ensure that it's fine. But if it is a chatbot, you should test at least 1,000 questions. And 1,000 questions, can you do it manually? No. You should have an evaluation system. One reason is why you cannot test it manually is you cannot test it manually. That is one reason. Second point, why it could be, why you wanted that automation to be, sorry, why you want that evaluation to be automation? Can somebody guess the reason? I'll reframe the question. So I have a GenA app. Okay, GenA app. So this app is everything. I have some 50 steps inside this application. Okay. So the point is, it is you ask a question, it gives you an answer. Simple. Inside this, all this RAG and fine-tuned LLM, all those things and memory management, context engineering, agents, everything is there inside this. It's not a simple dabba. Okay. So you ask a query, it gives an answer. So before somebody buys, they have to evaluate. Okay. So what do you think? They will evaluate by saying that, okay, I give 10 questions, I got 10 answers, so I will purchase this with $2 million. Not possible, right? So $2 million, nobody will give by testing 10 questions, correct? So they want some metric. They want some robust testing. So either you are in client side or in the company side who has developed this, how will you evaluate? So evaluation, so I say that it should be automated. Okay. So you should not do it manually. I will never accept it's a manual evaluation. Why? First reason, number of questions. Correct? Number of questions. Because you cannot have one question, 10 questions. So if I have to have minimum 1,000 questions, then human generation is very difficult. Okay. Second, what could be a second reason? Is there any chat?
Sir,
Somebody tell me.
reproducibility with respect to performance.
You are right actually, but I didn't hear you properly. Can you
The
repeat the
reproducibility in regression, sir. Regression should reproduce the same results every time.
reproducibility? Yes, yeah, I agree. In research, reproducibility is there. That is fine. But I wanted one more answer.
Diversity.
Uh,
Humans may be biased.
tell me in a layman's language. Layman's language. Okay, that could be other options. Okay, that
Sir, that
reproducibility
bias thing should not be
and
there.
you guys are thinking too much technical. I am not technical guy actually. Actually, okay, I will tell. I don't want to waste your time also. So what is my interest is like in Gen AI, I have put one vector DB, correct? Today. Tomorrow, one more vector DB came into market, which says that this is maybe $1,000 per month. Okay. So tomorrow a vector DB came with say $10, I will give you the same vector DB. Okay. So again, you have to go and test it. He is claiming $10. Okay. You have to test each and every component separately. Okay. Each and every vector DB you will separately evaluate. LLM you will separately evaluate. All those are fine. But overall quality of your QA chatbot should not reduce. Correct? Agreed? So for applying or what you can say instead trial and error method. Okay. Trial and error of different techniques, infra, right? Or services, whatever we call, right? For different techniques, you should have one automated system. You understand? No need to write. That's the main topic. So for applying different things, like for example, you have this model. This is what I will not rewrite it again. So we have here, right? So tomorrow I wanted to change it to this. So you cannot tell you want to change this means you take it into development mode, change this to this vector DB, and then rerun your automation. Within another 4 hours, you will get a result whether this DB is fine or not. And for reproducibility, you can run this automation for 3 times. Correct. In 12 hours, I can tell you a vendor came to me and saying that, okay, vector DB is this vector DB. I am offering you a vector DB. Currently, I am using another vector DB. Okay. So he is offering me a vector DB, which is very, very cheap. So my management is very much interested to know that, okay, can I change from this vector DB, what currently we are using, to this vector DB? So if they call me and ask, okay, can you evaluate this and give? Within one day, I'll give a report to them saying that this vector DB is okay or not. This is like management decisions, right? So another thing is also there. Like for example, I was talking about the steps, right? So I have this is my GenA application. I am rewriting from there. Okay. So I have some 15 steps. Okay. For example, I am having an intent recognizer at this point. At this point, based on this intent recognizer, it goes to graph DB, it goes to vector DB, okay, or it goes to a keyword search. Keyword search. Okay, intent recognizer can use any one of them or all three of them or any two of them. Okay, whatever it. So now I have an intent recognizer. Tomorrow, okay, this will not be a very good example. I will change the example. So, oops, why is it blinking? Graphics card अच्छा नहीं है. Okay, I have an intent recognizer now. Okay, intent recognizer. What it does is it goes for a database search. Okay, so DB search and it goes a document search. This will be a good option. Okay, so for a given query, okay, so for a user query, it decides, okay, this query can be answered by my database or by doc search. So whichever answered, it will go as an answer. Okay, this is one step. This is just one step. I'll rub this 15 steps solar logic. Okay. Now tomorrow, my company is saying that, or even I wanted to decide, Hurry, why do I have to have an intent recognizer? I will, because this intent recognizer makes a mistake of wrongly understanding that this query has to go to DB instead of going to document. Okay, so my intent recognizer may work or may not work. Okay, so instead of fine tuning this, I prefer to change this logic. How will I change? I will change it in the bottom. Okay. So what I will do, I will take a query. I will do the DB search. I will do the doc search. Compulsory. Okay. Not based on any intent. Both I am doing. And then I will take one confidence score. Okay. This is a confidence score. And whichever confidence score is higher, uska answer I will send it. Okay. So I am changing the architecture. Correct. So this is a very quick one. Ideally, if you see as a technical developer, change looks like an architectural change. If you ask me, it is just 1 day work for me to do this change. But I have to evaluate this, right? Until and otherwise, I will not be confident. So taking 1 day to change the code is easy. Okay. Not even 1 day, it is 4 5 hours work. You can change the code to because doing this work is more complicated. Changing the routes are not difficult. Okay. Just changing this to here, changing this to here, and removing this. Okay, this intent recognizer we removed. Instead, we put a confidence score calculation, confidence score calculation. Then you will do a measure like if else statement. If the confidence, whichever confidence score is higher, comparison statement. Sorry, then you will give it as an answer. Correct. So point here is changing this will take 1 day, but I have to evaluate this to ensure, okay, my older model is good or current model is good. So for that, I should need an automated evaluation, which I made one time in my starting of my project. I always have this automated evaluation so that any route change, any company's decision change requirements, infrastructure change requirements, LLM outdatation. For example, today, some company, I don't want to say any company's name for this scenario. Suppose a company is giving you an LLM. Okay, tomorrow that company got closed. So no more their LLM is going to be available for you. In that case, you have to shift it to another company. So now your company is asking you which company you want us to go and purchase from. So if you have you can take a trial from every company and then run your model using their LLMs and get a highly confident scores using your automated evaluation and then give them as confidence score. You will also be confident. Once you build a very good automated evaluation system, you will also be confident. It's not like that, I mean, 10 question test kiya and whether it works or not, I don't know. Chalo, we'll go for some new company A. है ना? So not like that. So if you are confident, run the automation. If it is a very critical situation, decision, run it for 3 to 4 times. Ensure that your evaluation is good on the particular change, and then confirm to your management that yes, this is worth changing from $1,000 to $10. Okay. Okay, so it is not so much difference. Nobody will give you just that you can say $900. Okay, $10, most probably people will anyway go for it, right? So it's $1,000 and somebody comes and says $900. So now you will have a more difficult situation rather than $1,010, right? So $10 they'll give to your company will say आप कुछ भी करके $10 में काम कराओ, right? They are going to say compel you make your system work with this DB, right? So, but if it is $1,900, you will have to be the right person to tell. There comes all this automation evaluation. That's what I would like. Okay, so whenever you build a GenAI system, you should also have an automated evaluation system. Okay, so that because in GenAI, see, it's not like ML, right? So in GenAI, you have to change lot number of steps in between to make sure something works or not. And something works or not is not based on your intelligence. No, by testing it thoroughly and ensuring that numbers should speak. Right? If you, it's like, for example, we make fun of the client. अरे यार, क्या data दिया है ना? What is this data? Is it worthwhile? It's useless. All those logic. But the evaluation metric goes from you. If you test in 10 questions and give you that, okay, it is working fine, you are in the same funny point for client, the way you treated the client, right? So client also nowadays, they ask for this kind of robust testing until otherwise they purchase your project. That is how they will also get confidence. Okay. So not just to open your chatbot and test some 2 questions and tell that देखो हमारा chatbot बढ़िया काम कर रहा है and back end में code में hard coded answers लिखा है ना. So for a given question, back end में you write 100 questions and उसका hard coded answers output and then show to client and they will purchase. No, nobody is going to purchase that. For higher values, testing के लिए they will take. Okay, I think I made a justification of why automated evaluation system is very, very important. So that comes very, very important in this topic. This is not covered here. So till now, whatever I taught is not in this slides. Okay. So this is all for your knowledge. Okay. So if you want to take it, take it. Otherwise, whoever is watching recordings, tell them not to watch till here. Okay. Okay. Going to the slides. We'll go through cool slides first. We have 40 minutes, I guess. So slides is very easy. Okay. So ideally, it will not even take 40 minutes. So testing old school way. Right? So importance of testing, I already told you. So very important is in Gen A, the testing logic is requirement is different. So in ML, the testing is you do a test, you train a model, you run an test, you run the model on test evaluation, and then you decide whether the model is trained completely or not. Correct. And after you do training and testing, you deploy it in the for the inferencing. Correct. And during inferencing, there could be a data shift, right? Domain shift or data shift. Okay. Ideally, it is distribution shift. Okay. Data distribution shift. So once that changes, then again you have to go for a training method. Okay. So that is what is depicted here. So in Gen A, it is different. Okay. So why that doesn't work in Gen A, right? Just read this. I'll give you 2 minutes. I have to take a break. And then tell me from this slide or from whatever your knowledge, tell me whether you understood this or not. Okay, just give me 2 minutes break. Okay, back. So question somebody. So I think the question I asked correctly. Didn't I ask? Did I ask the question correctly? Can somebody tell me what was my question?
Yes, sir. So you are asking whether, like how it is difficult in Gen AI to
How it
quantify
is
this
different?
matters. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How it is different from ML evaluation, right? So do you understand? Like anyone understand? Want to explain here?
In ML, we have definitive criteria. Like if label matches, then it is good. If not, it is bad. But in generative, we have to go for like semantic understanding.
Correct. Yes. This slide depicts that same thing. Okay. So in generative LLMs type, so point here is you have the wordings, right? So maybe this and this are same, but how do you evaluate it? So you cannot compare word by word. It's not possible. So that blue O score and all those things are not so much easily possible, right? So how do you have to do that, right? So that's why it's hard to have a define a quantitative metrics. How will you do that? We will see. Okay. Mm. And one more thing I want to ask. Till now, we discussed something which is out of the topic. Okay. Somebody feels it is not uh, important or useless, or somebody has a clarification on it. Somebody wants to say
Sir,
any
I
feedback
had
on it.
some questions. If we can go back to those slides, you are telling
Mm-hmm.
how we will evaluate, or you will evaluate if the DB vector DB changes,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like, what will be the metrics we will use, like whether it is faster or slower, or we will quantify like how we will check whether the
See,
answer coming from. Sorry.
yeah. I got your point. See,
Yes,
I
sir.
told you for encoder, right? So vector
Hmm.
DB, this is again a big topic. It will take 1 hour to explain, but this is out of the topic, out of the syllabus. But there is ways. Okay. So quickly, if I have to tell, what exactly you have to measure in vector DB, you have to see. Why do you use a vector DB if you ask, and if you answer for that question, you will understand that answer lies there. Why can't you use a structured tables like Postgres or SQL DB? Why don't you use SQL DB or Postgres? Why do you have to go for a vector DB? You understand?
So, I mean,
You
we
understood
have
the
to
question,
store the
right?
node embeddings. Yeah, I understood, sir.
Only storing the embedding storing, so you can do it in table also,
Yeah, I
SQLDB.
mean, searching is faster, like similarity.
Uh,
That is also true.
so searching is faster, right? So what is the metric there? Faster. Is
Cosine similarities.
faster is the metric,
Uh-huh.
right? Latency is
Agreed.
the metric. Latency is the metric. After that, accuracy. Accuracy is why accuracy is a metric is you should learn about vector DB. So again, I'm going out of the topic. We have to cover the syllabus, but okay, I will tell quickly. In
Sir,
vector
but
DB,
the
na,
question was like,
uh,
why, like, how we will say that $10 vector DB is okay compared to $1,000 vector DB, right?
yes. So
Yeah.
you should
Okay.
have two answers for that. One is
Okay.
the accuracy. Okay, accuracy still is same, and latency is okay, manageable. Maybe if it is like plus 100 millisecond, it's okay, fine, right? But if it is 10 plus 10 seconds, it's not okay, right? So latency you have to see. Accuracy, why you have to see accuracy? So it's like you should understand how a vector DB works. They will do some quantization in between. Okay. So it's not simply storing a vector, and what you are doing cosine similarity is not done here. So if you understand the true working of vector DB, it's not simply storing the vectors and doing cosine similarity. They do a quantization to support some 10 million vectors. Okay. So that quantization will affect your accuracy for different vector DB providers. Okay. So who does how, and because they do it to get the accuracy latency low. Okay. So that will affect your accuracy. For your use case, whether that is getting affected or not, you have to see. For that, you should learn the vector DBs. So when vector DB guy comes to you and ask, okay, use this, you should ask for that kind of details. What do they exactly do inside the vector DB? That quantization part, how do they do it? I don't know whether they will share or not. If they don't share, then you can run your automated evaluation and then check whatever they want to do, let them do. But if it works for you, it's fine, right? What it should work, your latency and your accuracy. If it is fine for you, then you can accept it. But if you ask, some many people they tell Open source vector DBs, so you will already have, but others you can check and get. Okay.
Okay, understood.
So like that, similarly, you have to learn about LLM, how to do SLM, you have to do all those things. So same way, better data, better metrics. Okay. So better evaluation. What is this logic? Why I'm reading that? Okay. So here you see the public benchmarks, that MTEB, all those things. This is fine. Okay. But evaluation data, if you don't have means, so why this part is difficult in Gen AI, I'll tell you. Evaluation data is nobody is going to give you. As a data scientist or AI engineer, you should get this. Not get this means somebody will not going to give you a data like अरे ले लो प्लेट में नहीं देगा ठीक है. You have to generate this using the raw data what they give you. Data they will give you, but evaluation data preparation you should do. That's where many people get stuck, because that is, it will be mentioned in blob, but actually if you have worked in production grade, then only you would have generated this data, and that's where you can really test somebody's AI capability. Okay. So if somebody says you I applied RAG and I'm an AI engineer, don't accept it. Okay. Ask them how much of AI evaluation data they have prepared and how did they prepare. Okay, so if they tell you a very good pipeline and good definition of their use case and they develop the evaluation data properly, yes, they are good. There may be thousands of people, I don't disagree, but that is the right way to test somebody. Applying RAG, nowadays college students, school students are doing RAG. So that's the point. So evaluation metric we'll see. So point here is if you have a very low evaluation data, it's not if you don't want to develop, that is the right word here. If you don't want to develop evaluation data, you can go and see a MTEB or some public benchmarks and then select some models. But if you really wanted to do a good data science Gen A work, develop a evaluation data more like prod. You have to develop, right? More like prod, because people will give you documents, PDF documents, but more like prod data you have to develop. And then you have to do a auto evaluation. Human evaluation is very costly. Agreed? Agreed or not?
Yes, sir.
It's very costly. People will.
Yes, sir.
So I'm asking for 1,000 questions. You can put on tester to do it. Yes, he will take 3 months. His salary is there, right? But if you can build an automated evaluation system, it's very, very cheap, right? It's very cheap. And this one is little different, but automated evaluation nowadays it has come here. Okay. So in fact, it is almost same. It depends on how you create that evaluation. So this also matters. Any crash, garbage auto evaluation data also you can prepare. But I will still appreciate that he has tried to create an evaluation data set. But the ideal thing is you learn from it. So first time you will create a crap, right? So anybody, including everyone in the world, they will create. So as you go, you will try to match with the human data points, human data evaluation. So this guy, human guy made 10. So you will first only you can create 1,000. Okay. So in fact, in one of my previous project, I think I created 36,000. Actually, people were just first time when I did this. The funny part is, people were like when I explained, I gave a lecture in at Houston. So when they were saying, I was explaining what is the process, how it is important, all this. People were like, "अरे क्या बात कर रहे हैं?" Saying, I just like. Then I said that this 36,000 and the evaluation metric so robust, and it took 4 hours to create this. Not 4 hours, it was like 2 days, I guess. 2 days. It took 2 days of continuous run. It took 2 days, and for this 100 questions, I guess you no, not 100. It's exactly 202 questions. I remember 202 questions by humans. It took 4 weeks. Okay, so and this is 2 days and 36,000. And yes, I agree, the correlation level is less. Okay. First time when I made, but today if I make this auto evaluation data set, it will be almost here. It will not be exactly like that because humans are of course not so comparable. Like, so you can improve this quality. Okay, you should. Okay. So it will not be so different, but you can improve and you can generate 30,000 questions with the quality of human. So it again depends. So it depends on this numbers. So if you are humans, so my concept is you should take 10% of the questions from here, humans, and you will be able to generate 90% of auto evaluation. So also remember, I never told you human evaluation is useless. Okay. Human evaluation is not complete. Okay. So for any GenAI product, you should do human evaluation. Okay. But that is only 10% of time. But you should have a robust 90%. Why? Because when you start generating this 90% of question, it will have n number of types. Okay. N number of types of questions. It will cover the complete syllabus. Okay, it's like that. So in fact, if you know to, so I'll tell you one secret. If you know to do calculate, create this evaluation data set, creating question papers for this course is like 5 minutes work. Okay, so that's the funny part. So whatever you learn, it will be useful for somewhere else. Okay. You can also do that. You can create question bank for this course in a very quick way and evaluate that also. Its evaluation data set also has an evaluation on it. Okay, that's the very uh, complicated. Even first time I didn't, when I did this, not this 36,000, first time I was doing 1,000 questions. So in fact, when I did, somebody was asking, how will we trust your 1,000 questions? How do you say that that is in par with the user testing? So then came up the logic of evaluating the evaluation data set. So that's how we brought the quality of data set to here. Okay. So you should do
Sir,
that. Okay. So it's
when we
not
talk
just to
about
say
the
that I have done.
so when we talk about the evaluation, that means it should contain the questions as well and the responses as well, right?
No, no, no. It I just simply told that that is also one way. There are so many ways. You have to test each component, right? So in your, it is not always question and answer. So overall is question and answer, I accept. When there is a chatbot, you have a question, you have an answer. Okay. But this is not the only evaluation data set you will create. This is the overall evaluation data set. Okay. Pipeline. This is the complete pipeline. Whatever is the pipeline you are running here, that will. But inside the pipeline, there will be intermediate parts, right? So for example, you have to select a perfect, okay, I will tell you, there are so many steps. So your query goes inside, it goes into step 1, step 2, step 3, then goes to step 4, step 5, step 6. Okay. And then has a branch 7, 8. Okay. And then ninth step, and then finally your answer goes. So what I'm trying to say is, if I have to test what LLM I have to put here, what SLM I have to put here, or what technique I have to apply there. It's not only SLM or LLM. I am today using, okay, like for example, doc ingestion. Doc ingestion. I think 2-3 weeks before we were discussing about doc ingestion, right? So for example, I am doing XLSX ingestion. Okay, so Excel file ingestions. So today there is a method like there is a market me dockling. Dockling is a one model. You can use that to extract SLXX. Okay, so this is one step. Consider that this is fourth step in my doc ingestion process, where I am going to extract the SLXX content. Okay, Excel files content. SLXX, it's not coming in my mouth. So today I am using dockling. for example. Okay. So it comes out output. So here I am not asking question or answer. Okay. So input is an Excel sheet and output is the data. Correct. So here evaluation data set is different. Tomorrow a new model came, maybe Dockling is from IBM. Okay. So tomorrow a new model, like for example, there is another one, Markdown from Markdown, or you have a custom model. Your developer has come to you telling that Bhagath, like my developer came to me and tell that Bhagath, this Dockling is not creating a very good data. It is not extracting many of the things, or it is not extracting the images in an Excel sheet. Many of our drilling reports, if you see in oil and gas, they have images. They will paste some images in the Excel sheets and store it. Okay, sheet one, sheet two, sheet three, like that, and images will be there. Those images Docklink cannot take. Okay. So my developer has come to me saying that Bhagat, my technique you apply here instead of Docklink, my developer technique, okay, custom technique that can extract images also, have also the text content in the tables. Okay. If he builds such a technique, we have built it, but I'm saying this. He came to me and then says that, okay, now you send an Excel sheet with images also, it will be able to extract the data in the right way. Data means text data plus table data plus images. He has built on. So how will you evaluate this? Correct. You should say, so by default, this is understandable that, okay, Dockling, the custom technique is better than Dockling. But two of my developers came say, Bhagat, I also have another one technique which also can do extract text table and images. Now both will fight with me by a manager. You have to decide. So I will say that no, I am not a decision maker. Get me my automated evaluation system, apply both of your techniques, tell me what is the score, run it 3 to 4 times, get me an average score, then I am saved. So I don't need to take a decision, right? So the system will take a decision. So that's what I want to try to say. What I your for your question is, it's not always question and answer is your evaluation data set. It depends on the particular scenario what you are going to measure. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, okay. What's wrong with the benchmark? These things you read, right? Okay. Blah, 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 blah. These things are simple. I will skip many of things. So these things looks very. These things are easy. Okay. Don't. I wanted to share something which is really काम का आता है ना. It's useful for your life. Hmm? And my humble request is please go through this lecture. Maybe बहुत कुछ मैंने I have told unnecessary stuff. Please remove all those useless stuffs. Everywhere you will get right 10% useless stuff. 90% what I wanted to say that is think from a production perspective where somebody is going to purchase your product. Whenever you build something, think in terms of whether it is will you even purchase it. Don't build because somebody gave you a project. No, never do that work. It's useless. Okay. If you are working, then you should resign the job and sit in home, according to me. Okay. Do a job which helps somebody because you get a salary, right? So I'm not degrading anybody. If you are doing work, do it always in a perspective of somebody is going to purchase it. Even at least from your point also, when you have to purchase it, you have to evaluate it. In fact, I want to purchase a fridge. Me and my wife sit for 2 3 days, not together. We'll sit separately because my perspective is different, her perspective is different. So we'll evaluate ourselves, read the comments, purchased already, Amazon may, Google may, everywhere we read which shop is good, who gives a maintenance support, long run 5 star chahiye, 4 star chahiye, 3 star chahiye, and which is good. But I'm telling you, the decisions what we have made separately and combined and made sure the final decision is made, everything is good, trustable. At least 5 to 10 years, it is good. I'll tell you, the refrigerator we purchased, like everybody has many years experience. So apart from taking this one, do your own research. You will always have a best thing. So that's what in your evaluation also, don't trust me. Very important sentence what I'm going to say for this complete lecture is, don't trust the metrics which are available in the market. Very, very important. Always create your own. Always nahi hai. You have to create. If you say that, okay, ragas में ये metric है, वो metric है, and you used that metric to evaluate the system, bas, gone. You are giving a low quality product to your client. And so, for example, in this case, what should be a metric? Think. Okay, I will not tell the answer here. It's very proprietary. Think. What should be a metric here? How would you evaluate? So forget about docking. Two developers came to me and said that, or told the developer, two providers came to me. You see, I think Llama Index has a document extraction service. They give you paid service. They have a paid service. And for example, tomorrow I come to your company and say that, sir, please take my product. I can give you a better product of document extraction than Llama Index, which you are using today. How will you evaluate? What should be your metric? There is no metric in the world as on today, according to me. Maybe Llama Index का पेज में जाके देखना पड़ेगा, but there is no automated evaluation metric. You can see like one Excel feed करके how it works, whether it extracts all, but one Excel, two Excel नहीं कर पाए. So when we are dealing, like for example in my company we are dealing 3 million documents. Do you think one Excel feed करके I will be happy to purchase a product? No, nobody will believe. Then I will make a blunder decision, right? So 3 million documents. So how will I make right decision, right metric? And no metric is there in the world. In this course, this is what you should this in this lecture. This is what you should understand. There is no metric which is already available for every place. There are some metrics for some quick things like cosine similarity, what we were talking about, right? So even that you have to create your own logic of it. But everywhere you will not get that same metrics. You have to build for your complete project. Somewhere you have to build a custom metric for your own use case. And how will you build? Sit and think. Okay. You will surely get. It's not like impossible stuff. Sit with your team or sit alone and think. Okay. And these things are very minor stuff. I don't wanted to discuss. So precision, recall, F1 score, I think logistic regression you would have learned. One thing I wanted to explain here will be this one and this one. Okay, so we have 16 minutes. That will be so much for these two. Okay, it will take only 5 minutes to explain. Okay, MAP you can see, MRR we will see. Okay, so MRR is one technique which I have used in one of my project, and that's very good also. Okay, so I trust MRR because of, I'll ask you this question later. So now question is mean reciprocal rank. Okay, it's very simple. So for example, you have a, in this, we'll read this only. It's very easy. This scenario A has a first relevant chunk. So relevant chunk means, so what I will take. Okay, in your evaluation data set, you have made evaluation data set. Okay, so you have a question one and you have the correct answer for it. Okay, this is one of your evaluation set. And the answer where it came from is chunk number 1, chunk number 5, and chunk number 3. Okay. Oh, okay, so I will write in different way. Maybe it came from chunk number 2, chunk number 5, chunk number, oops, it went there, chunk number 1 million. Okay, so chunk number 10,000. So 1,000, 10,000. Okay, so these 4 chunks are used for this particular question. The answer is coming from these 4 chunks. Does anybody have any doubt here? This is your evaluation data set which you created. Everybody understood this? Can anybody confirm me? This is separate from this MRR. Okay, just that you understand. Chunks you understand, right? Do you understand chunks?
Yes.
Okay, so okay. So point here is, if you would have started assignment 2, you would have understood. If you're not, then please start. So point is, you have a question and you have an answer for it, and the answer came from these 4 chunks. Okay, chunks is not a big thing. Okay, so it's very simple. Go and read. So this is your evaluation data set. So like this, you have suppose 1000 question, 1000 set example. Okay, keep that. Now coming to MRR. So MRR क्या बोलता है? What it says is the scenario A has a first relevant item at the rank 2. Means, so I have a system now. Now coming to my chatbot. So I created a chatbot. Okay, this is CB chatbot one. So I gave this same question to this. So I gave this question Q1. Okay, so this is my evaluation data set, which I have already created. So which we also called as a golden data set. Okay, so many companies call like this, or you can call it as an evaluation data set. Okay, so you come to the chatbot, which my other team, this is one team prepared. Okay, or your team only prepared prior to the starting of the project. Now you created the chatbot, okay, with so many steps. Maybe 50 steps are there inside this chatbot. So now you give this question to this chatbot. So chatbot is going to produce one A answer. So I will say this is predicted answer. You agreed, right? If you have studied ML, you understand. If you put a cap on this A, this is like a predicted answer, correct? And along with that, the chatbot would have also retrieved data, right? So it would have some chunks. Chunk, maybe it brought the chunks, chunk 1, chunk 2, chunk 3. Okay. So it brought these 3 chunks. I'm not writing it number wise, I should not write, so you will not understand. So I write like chunk 1, chunk 468, chunk 2 million. So it is number of the chunk. Okay. So 3 chunks it brought during its retrieval from your chunk database. Till here, everybody understood? Any questions?
Yes.
Let me know. Okay. So you give a query, your chatbot is going to bring 3 chunks. Using that 3 chunks, it is going to give an answer. Okay. So you collect these 2 information. Now, now point is you have another chatbot. This is scenario A. Okay. Scenario B is this case. So again, you give this query 1. Okay. So you're another developer. One developer built this chatbot. Another developer built this chatbot. Okay. This is again chatbot. So you give the same question Q1 to here, and it brought some this one. See, these first two are relevant, right? So it is like 2 chunks are related. So it is 2 C5 and C6768 C1000. So it brought 4 chunks and it gave an answer. Okay. So what your second developer's chatbot did was, when you give the same question, it brought 4 chunks. Chatbot design, it is not standard that you should bring 3 chunks. So it brought 4 chunks, and using those 4 chunks and this question, it gave an answer. This. Okay. Got it. Now that is what we are doing here. Okay. So now your evaluation metric should be calculated to understand whether the chatbot A works fine or chatbot B works fine. Now come into this diagram. Okay. So the numbers you forget. Okay. So point is the scenario A, I was talking about C1. I will write it in a different color. This is C1, which here. Okay. And this is C468 and C 2 million. Correct? The 3 chunks what I have written here. Okay. And in this scenario B, I have written C2, C5, C768. So for easiness of this calculation, let us forget 4th chunk. Okay. Just for my ease. Okay. So just that 4th chunk. Okay. So now, if you see in this case, I have made here, there is no chunk which is matching. What I will do for making my life easy, 2 million, right? So it is not even 2 million, it is 2 lakhs written. Okay, 2 lakhs. Here relevant chunk I will write one chunk which is from here. I will write 468. Okay. So point, if you see in, forget about these numbers. Okay. Oops. Forget about these numbers. So now it will be clear. Okay. So this 1 to 3 will confuse. Okay. So now, so again, I will repeat it fastly. So your golden data set has, this is the query and this is the answer. And the answer was brought from C2, C5, C468 and C10,000. Okay. And your first chatbot, when you gave that question, the chatbot retrieved these 3 chunks and generated one answer. In second chatbot, when you gave the question, it retrieved C2, C5, C6, 768, and then gave this answer. Okay. So now if you see this one, what happens? So now it is ready to evaluate. Okay. So you see here, so also forget about these colors, okay, for now, because it will not match the point what I'm discussing. So scenario A has a first relevant chunk, relevant item at rank 2. Okay, the second recommendation list has a relevant chunk at rank 1. So one thing what I wanted to say is, in practical life, you cannot rank this. During evaluation dataset creation, you cannot say that, okay, chunk 2 has more information for A1. Chunk 5 has thoda sa less. Chunk 468 has or thoda less, right? Because it is not quantitatively possible. Okay, so it's a qualitative answer. Maybe there is only one. So maybe answer has 10 points. For example, for a given question, answer has 10 points, but and C2 has 4 points in it, C5 has 2 points, C468 has 2 points, and C 442 no, C2 has 4 points, C5 has 3 points, for example. This guy has 2 points, this guy has 1 point. So it does not, you cannot even calculate this technically. Okay, you try to do it, you will not get it. Even if you say like this, you based on the number of points which is in a particular system, I am ranking. This is rank 1, this is rank 2. It's not possible because there can be a reason that this 1 point is a very, very major reason than this 4 points. Okay, so that is why you can never rank the chunks in your evaluation data set. But you can tell, okay, answer should have, answer should come. So the answer is there in all the chunks. Okay, but you cannot rank it. It's very difficult. If somebody disagrees and has a different logic, let me know. I will also learn. Okay, I have tried best for this, but there is no. Okay. So now my question is, now my point here, what I want to say is there are 4 chunks. You don't have a rank for it. Okay. Now coming to here. So here you will have rank. This is rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. How you will get rank here? Can somebody say?
RRF.
Very good. Pass. Loved the answer. Okay, good. So you have scores from your vector DB. Okay. So RRF, or you in fact in your vector DB also, whenever you do a retrieval, it will give you a similarity score which it used to get your chunk. So this score is like 0.996. The score is 0.92. The score is 0.90. Okay. So from this you can do a ranking. So that is what is done here. So this is rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. Okay. This is rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. This is in the chatbot, but in your evaluation data set, practically you cannot have a rank. So, so point is now how will you do this MRR? So now how will you do the MRR? MRR is very easy, correct? So you have ranked here and you see in your evaluation data set, which chunk is among these 3 chunks, which chunk is in your evaluation data set? This chunk, correct? These 2 chunks are not there in evaluation data set. Agreed?
Yes.
Somebody say yes. Huh? So that is why it is what you write rank 2. right? So that is why it is 1 of 2. Okay. The answer remains same, even though I changed all the chunks. Agreed? Now in the second scenario, out of these 3 chunks which are brought by the chatbot, which chunks are in your evaluation dataset chunks?
C2 and C5.
Very good. C2 and C5, correct. So in this MRR, there is one disadvantage. What is the point is you will take only the first relevant chunk item. Okay. So point here is the rank 1 itself is a chunk which is there in the evaluation data set. So you tank rank 1 here is already passed. Here rank 2 is already there. So rank 2 means 1 by 2. This is the rank. Okay. So here rank 1 means 1. This one. 1 by 2, 1 by 1. So you see the chatbot 2 could bring, could say that, could bring chunks. The first chunk itself is having the answer करके बोल रहा है ना? So that is the this is good based on this MRR. But do you think this is correct? This is sufficient to say that okay, chatbot B is best. That is the next topic. But I wanted to ask the question here. First, let
No.
me give 1 minute more. 1 minute for everybody to understand. Everybody understood this? Anybody didn't understand? I tried my best to explain here. I can repeat also, but tell me. Everybody understood? Anybody except Pramod sir? Oh, okay. People are showing thumbs up. I didn't notice. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I hope everybody understood, right? So in this, it is not, now coming to the question again. So why it is not sufficient?
Actually, system B has brought C5 also as a relevant chunk. We have not considered that.
That is one reason. So one reason is reason for limitation. Highlight, okay. Or we should not reason for limitation. Maybe English नहीं आता है इतना. It says shortcomings. I think that is a good word. I don't know how I got this correct word. Okay. So first point is all retrieved and relevant chunks, है ना, or not considered. Correct. This is what you said. Agreed. All
Yep.
retrieved and relevant chunks. So C5 is ignored ideally for saying that okay, scenario brought 2 chunks. Scenario A brought only 1 relevant chunk. बाकी दोनों useless है. We are not using that logic. Okay. The scenario B is better or better than scenario A. Ideally, we are saying that scenario B is better, but we are missing the point that it brought 2 chunks. Ideally, it should have more confidence score compared to the difference between these two should be more. One is the highest score, that I agree, but इसका और कम होना चाहिए ideally. Okay, because it brought 2 square, should be fair, right? So next, one more thing is there. What? Did it bring all the chunks? Are we even counting whether all relevant chunks are brought? We are not counting that, right? So ideally we need 4 chunks to answer because I have 4 points here, 3 points here, 2 points here, 1 point here. To get the answer of 10 points, I need all the 4 chunks. Even one chunk is missing, I am missing 1 point. I'll have only 9 points. Even if I miss this last chunk, I will miss 1 point. So this will be useful for identifying how many chunks you should bring to the LLM so that it answers the full question. You understand? Because in your chatbot only 3 chunks are being retrieved as a standard. Top 3 लेके आएगा, है ना? If you have done RAG, many people do top 5, top 6, top 7. What if the answers are in top 20 chunks? Why are you not making it dynamic retrieval? Correct. So that's a question. So all relevant chunks are brought or not, that is not considered. Correct. Uh, brought is very bad English thing. Let's be little technical. Fetched or not, or retrieved or not. Okay. Retrieved is more correct word. Okay. Next one is third one. Third one is what else? So suppose I consider here 3 chunks, right? So I consider 6 chunks. Instead of 3 chunks retrieval, each of my chatbot brings 6 chunks. And I say in this chatbot also brings 6, this chatbot also 6. Now I say that scenario A brought all the 4 chunks. For example, this one 468 is here. Now next is this is 1 lakh, right? 1 lakh, 10,000, 10,000. This is the 4th chunk. 5th chunk is C2. 6th chunk is C3. For scenario A, I'm saying that if there is a 6 chunk retrieval, scenario A brought all the 4 chunks. You see, this is a relevant chunk. This is 4th position chunk. This is also relevant. This is also relevant. This is also relevant. So all the 4 chunks are brought by scenario A. But scenario B, you see, in this 3 chunks, I say that, okay, I brought C2. But next one, C2 is already there, okay, in the mark, in the top. C2, C5 is there. So now I write that C4, 7, 4, 6, 43, C 2000, C 300. So now you see scenario brought after 6 chunk retrieval in scenario chatbots B also, you are getting 2 chunks which are related, right? It is in the top, but the remaining 4 chunks did not come. That is also wrong. All relevant chunks did not come. Okay. But that is one. But okay, that answers the second question. Third question. Okay, third question. I will make it little more logical. Third question is suppose C2, C5 is there. Did I mention correctly? C2, C5. Oh, C3 I written. This is C5. Sorry. C5. C2, C5 is here. C 10,000 is this 4th chunk. 5th chunk is C468. 6th chunk is 300. Okay. So you see, this is relevant. This is relevant. This is relevant. This is relevant. This is not relevant. This is not relevant. Okay. So now you see in both the scenarios, all the 4 chunks are there. Correct? Correct, no? All the 4 chunks are there. And but point here is the scenario A, first chunk is not relevant. But scenario B, first chunk is relevant. The ranking where we are having, right? So for all the chunks, that also should be taken. So ranking of relevancy. Relevancy. This is what I wanted to say. Ranking of relevancy. So actually, this is little bit impractical. Why I say is, for this you want the ranking of this chunk also. So which I initially said that it is not possible. Yes, it is not possible. But if you all you have, but if it is not possible for Q&A, but many other many other use cases, there is a possibility of ranking this. When you have a ranking, right? So C2 is suppose the most relevant chunk which should have brought. Like for example, many times I will tell, like as a human you can tell, right? So you for answering this particular question, C2 is the most important book. So C5 if you have, it's fine. Even if you don't have, it's okay. But C2 is very, very important. So like that, it is possible. So you cannot say that, okay, these chunks are all important. C2 must be there, necessary. This is okay. This is okay or better. Like in job description, we write, right? So mandatory requirements and then optional. If you have, that is better like that. So if you can rank it, then this third part also, ranking of relevancy is important. Okay. So this ranking of relevancy, if you do, then that matters here. Okay. So for taking away these shortcomings, there is one logic called NDCG. We already crossed 6 minutes. Okay, we'll cover this in next class. We put a mark. Okay, no problem.
Sir,
So
basic
till
question.
yeah.
Sir, how do we create this ED you said in the above? Because like this ranking will be based on this data set only, this golden data set, this ED. How do we do this? I mean, do we have
That is the core
existing or
engineering.
someone do
You
this?
have to do. That is the
Acha,
core engineering.
manually. Okay, okay.
Manually नहीं है भाई. बाप रे बाप. No manual. If you do manually, how will you create 1,000 questions?
So like, I mean,
You have to do a design.
okay.
Okay, it's a big depending on what is your input. That is where is the original design is there, right? It's not like call a library and get an answer. Not possible. Okay. So it again depends on what is the input your client have given you. What is the quality of the input? What is the input? What is the input means? Uh, it's how is it structured, right? So all those it depends. And then what is your chatbot's input? What is your output? Or what is exactly your use case? What you want to test? Uska kya? What is the input? What is the output? So based on that, you have to create all these things. It's a big engineering work. Okay. So you have to design that. You're an architect? Are you an architect? चला गया क्या? Are you there? Hello?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay. So the question is, if you're an architect and you're designing, then we can discuss. If you have a particular use case, we can discuss, not in the class. Okay.
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 No, sir, just
So
the explanation part I was like thoughting. I mean,
what
how
what is the miss in this explanation?
I mean, sir, this MRR, like whatever we
Mm-hmm.
compute is based on this data set only, right? I mean, the first part, if
Mm-hmm.
suppose I have to do this,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
how do I like this chatbot? I understand, like this is
Mm-hmm.
done by this LLM or whatever we design, but this
Oh,
golden set,
Bapare.
where this
It's a
golden
very
set came
bad
from?
answer.
Sorry.
It's a very bad answer. How is LLM में chatbot हो जाएगा? ठीक है,
I
चलो.
mean, so this
चलिए,
is
I will
okay.
agree with that.
Yeah, I mean,
हाँ.
okay.
See, I keep on telling a chatbot is not just LLM. Okay. Please don't mention it maybe for example also. I hate that answer.
LLM plus tools
Chatbot is a
and
very
things like, I mean,
complicated
yeah,
system.
yeah,
Please do
yeah.
agree with that. It's not just calling an LLM having a RAG is chatbot. If you say that, see, I will ask one question. If you take ChatGPT, do you think it is just an LLM GPT 3 5.2 call?
No, sir, I
I will
mean,
open it.
a lot of things there. Yeah,
Hmm. Correct, no?
yeah, yeah.
So, like for example, you take here this one. So, if I write a question here, does it only call the Gemini this model? So, I selected this Pro. Okay. So, this Gemini 3.5 model. Okay. So, when I write a chat, does this only send that query to the Gemini 3.5 and gets an answer? Do you think like that?
No.
Okay.
So,
Thank God.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
there are a
So,
lot
I
of
don't,
things.
a lot of things are happening. It's a
Yeah,
very, very complicated system.
yeah.
Many people think like that. That's why I wanted to say. I don't say that you are thinking of it, but many people think, okay, it's an LLM call. No, it is a very, very complicated system. LLM cannot answer that much what it does there. Okay. Now come back to your question. Okay. So question is you wanted to understand how golden data set prepared, right? So out of
Yes.
syllabus. Here.
Okay.
That is the core engineering. Okay. You have to
Okay.
do that work yourself. See, first thing is, I have already told you. See, I told you what is the output. It's like,
Mhm.
what is the output you know, what is the input you know. You should know to how get it right. I have a patent on this for one of the use case.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. I'll think
So
how
it's a
we
very
can do this. Yeah.
complicated, it's a very complicated architecture. It is itself a subject. Evaluation. If you go to LinkedIn, I'll
Because,
tell
sir,
you,
what I was
there is
thinking
some,
is like, okay,
uh,
sorry. Please continue.
in LinkedIn, there is an auto evaluation course. So to create auto evaluation data set and test it on a chatbot or any AI product is itself an art. That is itself a separate project actually. And there are companies who do that only. They don't build chatbots. They build only the evaluation part. Okay. So that's itself a very big work. But I told you the importance. So we are talking about chatbot. We'll discuss how we'll create this. But evaluation data set is the thing I also didn't learn from anybody. You start doing the work, you will understand how user has to test in an automated way. So
Because,
how
sir,
user tests, and from there
yeah,
you have to
what I was
discuss. Yeah.
thinking is like, if I create this, maybe in answer one, some other chunks would be there, right? I mean, it depends how the system is generated, right? If you are thinking that way, it may
Hmm.
not be